Brad, tell me about the first time you met Mamadi Keita.
Mamadi. So he's one of my major influences, one of the greatest living drummers, and he's had a huge impact on my life and my playing. So I had heard recordings, and he's a technician who just has like perfect hand technique and mathematical precision.
Yeah.
And so again, this is actually it was 1998, and do you want to know why? Because I still have the T-shirt from it, and I still wear it.
Oh, nice.
And so he was on a teaching tour in Spokane, Washington, of all places, because our friend Michael Moonbear brought Mamadi for a teaching tour. So I was familiar with the djembe and familiar with Mamadi's work, and so he was playing a rhythm for everybody. Something simple, like dot, do, dot, do, do, dot, do, dot, do, do, which incidentally they call passport because there's about 50 different rhythms that use that supporting pattern as one of the parts. And so it's your passport into like 50 different rhythms. So he's playing that, except here's the thing. His hand technique is so perfect. He doesn't just have one slap or one tone, but he has like 3 or 4 different slaps, which he can regulate, and 3 or 4 different tones, a couple different bass notes. And so he's playing this rhythm, dot, do, dot, do, do, dot, do, dot, do, do, and his hands don't change, and the rhythm doesn't change. But within the rhythm, he starts playing a melody with the different tap slaps and tones, and he's like weaving this melody inside of this rhythm, and it just for me took it to a higher level because I had never seen playing like that. I had never seen a perfect hand technique like that.
Just has total control.
Yeah, and it's not by accident. He knows exactly how to weave these melodies within the rhythm. And so that, just like the first time when I saw Oboe Addy play, and he had 5 different sounds come out of one drum, hearing Mamadi use like even more hand techniques than that to create melodies within rhythms was something that opened my eyes, and so I knew that I wanted to study with him. So the following year I went with my buddy Duffy Boyles.
Oh yeah, Duff.
And we went to stayed in Mamadi's compound in Matoto, which is on the outskirts of Conakry. Basically in the epicenter, the heartland of where djembe culture comes from, which is largely the Malinke people in Guinea and Mali. And so for me, just as an extension of my interest in drumming and wanting to go to the source, that was my first of 3 trips to Guinea to see djembe in its original context, to see and meet the drum carvers. That's been a wonderful part of my life professionally as well, because I really do owe it to my customers to know about the drums, to know about the carvers, to know about the different woods, to know about the different skins. And you can only learn that stuff by actually hopping on a plane and going there. And so I feel like I've done a service to my customers, and it makes me feel better at the end of the day that I'm not just hawking a product like a burrito.
Yeah.
It's actually something that I care about and it's something that I'm interested in personally.
And then you met the carvers there and struck up relationships with those cats.
Exactly. And so even now I'll order like 100 drums at a time. So I'll get a few sets of dununs, and I'll get some medium-sized drums and large ones, and I'll get like 100 full-size djembes, and I'll get goat skins and supplies. Well, they know that they're producing it for Brad of Rhythm Traders in Portland, Oregon, with whom they've had a relationship now for about 20 years.
Right.
And so the quality's higher, but also this is a great relationship because we don't have 15 different people with their hands in the pot, which would drive up the cost and drive down the quality. We have a group of carvers outside of Conakry who are carving drums and putting the skins on and preparing them for Rhythm Traders in Portland, Oregon, and then they literally put them in the minivan, take them down to the airport, and air freight them on Air France. It comes to Portland, Oregon. I clear them through customs, put them in a U-Haul, and bring them to my store. And instead of having 10 different different levels in this supply chain between manufacturer and the end consumer. There's like two. It's like there's the carvers. They send them to Brad. Brad sells them to his customers who love playing them because they have the real instrument from the source.
And then, can you explain a little bit about the mice? What is it? The mitra?
The maitre djembe over here. This was a gift from our carvers to commemorate 25 years doing business with rhythm traders. We think this is the largest djembe in the world. And let me qualify that by saying it's carved from a single piece of wood. And so the head's about 22 inches. It's about 40 inches tall. So, when they cut down a tree, it's still wet or it's called green. And so because it hasn't been kiln dried, it can weigh thousands of pounds. So that blank probably weighed thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
So I have pictures of literally our supplier, Mustafa Berite, and his carvers. They took the tools into the bush and carved the maitre djembe.
They just camped out there?
They camped out until it was done.
Oh.
It might have taken a week. And so he sent that along as a gift without even telling me. I just opened up the shipment.
And there it is.
And there it was.
Yeah.
And so if you look on it, there's our old logo. We called him Bongo Man. And so as soon as I got the drum, I asked Mustafa, how did you find Bongo Man? And he's like, Brad, when you were here last, you gave me your business card.
No.
And on the business card, it had our logo.
Yeah.
And so anyway, it's this terrific master djembe carved from a single piece of wood, commemorating 25 years of working together. And then it's actually signed by Mustafa, his wife Fanta, and a few of the other carvers. And it's quite a piece to behold.